like even some of them are like 18 years old because when you are a deaf kid in Vietnam, your parents usually don't send you to school, but like they keep you at home. A lot of parents don't think that like deaf student can go to school. So in Vietnam we have 3 million people who are either deaf or hearing impaired, and that's considered as the most so the highest number of population in all kinds of disability. So for example, like we have 1 million people visually impaired, but we have 3 million people hearing impaired. And a lot of people explain that because of the consequence of the war. So like we have like landmines, leftover bombs, so when it's blow and then people lost their hearing ability. And then also some of them like when they was young and then like they got some kind of flu or sickness, and then they may lose their hearing. And the special thing of Vietnam is that the government they sponsor a hearing impaired student to go to a specialized school up to 5th grade. But then what happened after 5th grade is that the government actually want the kids to go to a vocational school. So that's actually pretty difficult, right? Because you just finished your elementary, and then with the elementary degree, and then you are forced to go to the vocational school. It barely prepares you for any job, right? So most of the deaf people in Vietnam, they just do like labor work. And then so a lot of non-profit organization, for example, this school is sponsored by a church. So if you see outside, you can see a big church. So this one is, so basically they use their land, they build this building, and then they run that kindergarten school so that they can have the money to sponsor for the deaf kids to come here and study. So in this school, they house 200 students who are either deaf or completely deaf or hearing impaired. And then one of the subjects that is most difficult to teach them is English, right? Because like they deaf, it's really hard for them to learn Vietnamese already or learn all the subjects in Vietnamese. But now in Vietnamese curriculum, you also have to learn English. So Hear Us Now is a non-profit group that I established like 3 years ago. Right now it's sponsored by GAP Institute. So Hear Us Now is one of the first organizations in Ho Chi Minh City that provide English training for these students. We follow the curriculum of Vietnamese government. So the way that we try to teach is that we try to sponsor the projector and the screen right there, so that we try to visualize the learning process. Because like if you just give them word by word, it's really hard for them to learn. So we try to put pictures in, we try to use videos, we try to use whatever visual methodology to help them learn better. We have run this one for 2.5 years. Every year we serve about 100 students. Well, okay, every year we serve about 70 students. But then during the way when we teach them, some of them show that they have a very high sense of artistic, like they can draw really beautiful and things like that. So then we also teach them computer science, so that they can use like Photoshop or Illustrator. Some of them later on become like, we hope that they can become like the designer. So in the computer program we have like 30 students. So in total we serve about 100 students right now, every year. Right now I just go through like a list of vocabulary in the topic of health, and keep fit and stay healthy. They're learning a new word right now. They try to memorize it, and then I break them into teams, and then later on we're gonna play a little game so that they compete to see who remember more words. So most of the communication happen through 3 ways. First of, these students are taught how to lip reading, so they can see my lips when I speak in Vietnamese at a slow speed. They can understand me. They also learn Vietnamese writing and reading, so they're really good at that. So we usually communicate either through that screen or we communicate through a little black box that you can see they raise up a little. And then the last way of communication is that I have to learn sign language, which I'm not good at all. So in this class I have volunteer teachers who are actually trained like 2 months or 3 months in sign language, and they can teach this one better than me. But every month I myself deliver the teaching at least once, so that I make sure like the class go at the same pace, go at the right speed and everything. So today is the day that I come check the school, and then I deliver the lesson myself. So even though I cannot use sign language, most of the students here understand me, and then we've been working for like 2 or 3